After you see it, there's no going back. Are you ready? So, what's the difference between these two photos? Obviously, the one on the left is a little more eye-catching. There's a lot more going on, but there's something a little deeper about this image, and I'm going to show you what it is. There's no going back. This is your last chance. Let me show you. The secret is triangles. Yeah, triangles. I know, sounds a little crazy, a little conspiracy theory. So let's go back to the original two images and let's take a closer look, especially on the one on the left. Let me show you. Yeah, let's look at some more examples. Hmm. You kind of trying to see the thing? Do you see all these triangles? What is it about triangles that work so well in compositions? In a math class long ago, you might remember learning about the golden ratio and the Fibonacci spiral and its relation to famous works of art, for example, the Mona Lisa. But have you heard of the golden triangle? That's right, there are actually multiple triangles inside of the golden ratio. What's so special about these dang triangles? You might have noticed it helps move your eye around the image. It's also a great tool that can be used to bring focus to areas of your image like the cosplayer themselves. I implore you to revisit some of your favorite photos and see if you can find those triangles. After this video, I need that retention rate. I love using triangle compositions in large cosplay group photos. And triangles are also a great tool for storytelling in your photos. Well, I'm sure you are never going to be able to unsee all the triangles in all your favorite images now. So you can use props to help create more triangles in your image. I have a sword. Say you're doing something like this, which is okay. Something you can do instead is kind of raise it up. And like this. I think it looks a little bit better. There's a little bit more of that space, because like what you want is space in between the limbs, especially like to show your background. Also, it can make people kind of look a little bit boxy as opposed to this and this, which help. I like to use theater as an inspiration as well as cinema, but we're going to talk about theater right now. So big movements, especially on camera. Sometimes the client might be like, this feels weird. I'm like, that's good because it looks great on the camera. Big motions, big movement. I always tell someone when they get in a pose, can you make it bigger? Like, can you make your stance wider? Maybe bring the arms out farther from the body, or if it's like a more dynamic shot, maybe like try to lean in farther, closer to really create like the drama. Because I feel like cosplay and theater are very similar, and most cosplayers probably started out as a theater kid. I was a theater kid. Another thing I take from theater is the term cheating out. So instead of like, say I was trying to take a photo of two people talking to each other, instead of like this, where you really just get the side profile, I'll tell people to cheat out their bodies. Most people will know what you mean. Like I said, we're all theater kids. Or the vast majority of them are. So instead of this, I just like, hey, bring your chest out a little bit like this. And then, so you'll have them turn their instead of looking directly like this, because it kind of looks a little awkward, I try to have them look slightly at an angle. And then the other cosplayer would do something similar. And it feels weird because you're like, I'm supposed to be talking to this person, but I'm not even looking at them. But it looks good on camera. And that is what matters. Another posing tip, you should be aware of the hands. I feel like a lot of people just don't really utilize hand placement or hand movement. So say it's a princess character, I normally will tell my clients to do what I call the princess hand. You just put your two fingers together. This is actually from like Disney princesses. This is what Disney tells them to do for like posing and whatnot. I have a friend who used to be a Disney princess back in the day. So we always make, oh, do the princess hand. So here you go. as opposed to this. It's just kind of but this is theatrical, more drama. Say they're reaching out instead of like this, just kind of but like I like to do the. It just creates a little bit more it's a little more dynamic. Basically, the takeaway is that don't be afraid to help guide the cosplayer. They will thank you later, unless you're giving them bad posing advice. But after you watch this video, I would hope by then you know the secret now. So say you're stumped and you're not really sure what to do for poses. Maybe you've used up all your poses you've thought of or could even think of. I like to go on Google and just search the character name. You'll see a bunch of things, and I'm sure one of the things give you some inspiration on like ideas. I hope you learned something today. If you have any posing tips or tricks, let us know in the comments. I'm sure other people will be happy to hear them. My next event will be Holiday Matsuri, which is in like 3 days, so maybe I'll see you there, and if not, I will also be at Anime Los Angeles, which is in like 2.5 weeks. Well, otherwise, we have a good holiday.